right, artists, we are going to make this tree into a birch tree and also add a little bit of shading into our cardinal before we color it red and black. Or if you want to make it a female, color it brown with a little bit of red. So my first step is, if you're using the twistable crayons, you want to get the black out. If you're using regular crayons, you want a black, or the twistable colored pencils, whatever you have in front of you. I think I'm actually going to use the black twistable crayon, but any of the black materials will do, except a marker. A marker might be a little bit hard. And the first thing I'm actually going to have you do is, I would say, probably outline your branches with the black, just to make them stand out a little bit. Some of these I didn't erase, but that's okay. Whatever you want to do, if you want to erase those little lines in there or not. And you're just going to remember not to go through this branch. You're just going to outline. I might end up erasing this line here. I don't really love that. This is what we do, right? You realize things as you go that, oh, I don't really love how that looks, so I'm going to erase before I color it, because you can't really erase once you color. The twistable pencils you might be able to erase, actually, but everything else, crayons and twistable crayons, not so much. So there, I outlined that. And if you've seen a birch tree before, they are the trees that have the white bark and sort of the black and sometimes brown smudges all over them. They have sort of like lines in here. And if you were in second grade with me last year, most likely you were with me when we did the birch tree paintings, which is one of my most favorite things to do with you guys. But we can't use paint right now, so we're just going to kind of give this tree some smudges with our crayon or pencils. So birch trees tend to be mostly white, but then have these black sort of smudgy things all over them. So I'm just going to randomly start. I'm just gonna do, watch out for that bird tail. And they usually seem, they might curve a little bit, but they don't, it's not a lot of black all the way through. And I tried to not make it look like it was a pattern. I made it a little bit random. This one, I'm gonna turn my pencil or crayon and go in the direction of the branch this way. And I'm kind of switching sides here and there. Some of them might go in the middle. If you wanna make a darker section, that's fine. You can always go back in and add more if you think you need to add more, but start off with less. Around my bird feet. Maybe I want to just smudge it a little bit. And really, this is kind of fun because you can be sloppy. Some of these look like color sections, and some of them just look like smudges. Maybe I want to do a little bit of a lighter, pressing a little bit lighter with my crayon here. And if you want to add a little bit of brown, sometimes there are brown sections in a birch tree. That's fine. I wouldn't go crazy because you do want to see a lot of that white. When we do the sky later, it'll really make the white pop. The sky is going to take a while because it's a lot of area to color. And remember, we're not putting leaves on this because we're trying to make it look more like a winter birch. So you see it's coming a little bit more together now. It's looking a little bit more like a birch tree. I actually like how it's looking. I think I'm gonna leave it alone. I can always go back in with a little bit more of the brown or the black if I wanted to. So the next thing I think we'll do is take a black, whether it's a black pencil or a black crayon, and outline our bird. If you're using the crayon, it's not as sharp as a pencil, but it'll get the outline going. Sometimes I try to tilt my crayon so it's on the edge of it. Gives it a little bit of a sharper part to use. Do your best to go over your feather lines. If you're using the pencils, it'll be a little bit clearer, but either one will work. Don't worry if you make a little bit of a mistake, guys. I mean, artists, we're not perfect. We're not machines. We're not computers. This isn't digital art, right? I will go over my beak. See, I went a little bit too high. I'm not worried about it. Just erase any lines that maybe you missed carefully. I'll go lightly over my feet. Okay, so I was telling you guys that I was going to do a little bit of shading. So I'm going to take my black and I'm going to go lightly on the front parts of this wing, of these feathers. And I'm going to do a little bit of black underneath this wing. So it makes it look like it's a little bit more three-dimensional. And I might add a little bit of black gently into my tail. The mask is also black. The mask on this. Remember we talked about that? The cardinal has this black mask. Okay, and I'm gonna actually, let me just make this black here. Okay. Now is when you get to pick your red. So if you want it to be a bright red cardinal, make it the bright red. If you want it to be a female, I would go brown and then you can add just a little bit of red shading in, but I'm gonna go right in with my red to make it a bright red male cardinal. And then when you get to, I feel like there's a darker red than this one, but I can always go back over it. When you get to these shaded areas, go right over them with the red. It's going to just make it look like a darker red. And here too. Maybe we want to add a little bit more as we go, a little bit more shading. Yeah, we'll try it this way and see how it looks. The rest of it can just be colored right over. Try to get as much of that white colored in red as possible, and then the tail is red too. You hear my dog crying. He needs attention. Poor Hoppy. Oh, Hoppy, what's the matter, buddy? Legs and beak, you can do one of these orangey ones or yellowy ones. Might go a little bit yellowy for the bottom feet. And a little bit brighter for my beak. And then sky. So this is going to take me a while, guys, so I'm going to just fast forward while I do my sky and you guys will do yours. Actually, I might try to use a crayon instead. If you guys have crayons, it'll be faster. So find a good sky color for your sky and have fun. I want to see them when they're done. Okay.